It is with great joy and love that we greet you today. It is not often we get to speak to you in this manner. It is often more with pen on paper. Although we do enjoy this very much. And on this day, the eve of the birthing of the country you know as the United States, is a very auspicious day, for it is this country that we call the New Jerusalem, and it is in the center of this nation which will become the new center. It is where many structures were buried and put in the ground so long ago. The last time the earth had a cataclysm where much was destroyed. It is this area that is being cleansed at this very moment. It is being cleansed by all the elements. The fires, the floods, the wind, as you know, the tornadoes. Also the earth shall rumble in these places. That is yet to come. This will continue. For the earth needs to wash herself clean and burn herself clean. And the people who live in these areas feel that the wrath of God has come down upon them. But this is not the case. It is a time that has been foretold with earth changes. You are in the midst of it. It is not something that is going to come in the future. If you don't believe this, all you need to do is look around. For various parts of your globe are experiencing this. For there are other areas that are being cleansed as well. And those that get through it will get through it. And will be stronger. And will learn what is important and what is not important. For many have lost things, but they are mere things. Things are not important, as those people have learned. What is important is the love you have for each other, your joy, your sense of compassion, your sense of self. That is what is important. Your strength and courage in these times. Although these events, to some, are horrible and destructive, which indeed they are, but what comes out of these events is a joy to behold. It is the compassion that one feels for another, the sense of wanting to help, the sense of community, neighbor helping neighbor, stranger reaching out their hand to help another in their time of need. This is what will be remembered. This is what touches your heart. And this is indeed the reasons why it's happening, in addition to the cleansing. These areas in the future will become the centers, the places where people want to flock. Even the people who live on the East Coast and the West Coast, who may have not great feelings for those in the center of the country. Indeed, their minds will change. And the energy there is shifting and changing so strongly now. It will indeed be a different place in many ways. However, as we say this, as we look around, as you look around at the changes that are befalling you, you need to realize this is not something that is meant to be observed. This is not a spectator sport. This is one that you came to this earth for, to be a participant, an active participant. This is the reason you came here. You didn't come here to watch. You came here to be included, to be one of the participants. And your participation is needed. Everyone who came here at this time, their participation is needed. For without everyone's participation, everyone's role in this undertaking, there shall be a piece missing. Many of you think you do not have anything to add. You don't really have a piece of the puzzle, but indeed you do. If you didn't, you wouldn't be here. You need to not only remember why you came here, but you need to believe in the strength of what you are and who you are. You need to believe it. And you need to believe it now. For now is when all this is happening. There's much talk of December 2012. But when that day comes around, many of the earth changes will have already occurred. When December 2012 comes around, the earth you will inhabit, for those of you who are left, will be a very different place than it is today. Look around you. Look back 6 months, 12 months. Is the earth you're inhabiting today different from that time? We believe it is. We believe that in 1 year's time from now, and indeed 18 months from now, the world will be even more different than it has changed in these last 12 months. We've been talking of this through various channels for a very long time. Many of you have listened. Some of you have taken action and really believed it. Others of you have been caught up in your day-to-day drama. The time for that drama is over, beloveds. It is finished. The time has run out. It is time to cleanse your lives of the drama, the excess stuff, all of it, the ideas that are outdated, the people who no longer serve you, who no longer serve your highest good. You know who they are, and you know who you are. It is time. And if you do not do it, the universe will do it for you. You may see other people around you who you see this happening to. Perhaps they've lost their job. Perhaps they've lost their relationship. Perhaps something else has happened to them. But more than likely, if you look closer, you will see they are people who never took care of their stuff. It is time. It is time to take care of your stuff. This stuff, whether it be ideas, people, belongings, cannot go with you into the higher dimensions. We're not saying that you can't take, some of your things with you, for indeed you can. But if you live in a house that is overflowing with things that you no longer need, things that you keep in case you might need it one day, things you haven't used, clothes you haven't worn, get rid of them. For these are the things you cannot take, and they will hold you back. Many of you have friends who you no longer feel a connection to. but you remain with them out of sense of loyalty. These you cannot take with you. Many of you had family members who you do not get along with, or there's high drama. We are not saying you can't take your family members with you, because maybe you can and maybe you can't. However, you can't take the drama with you. It is time to step up and take responsibility for yourself in your life. Whether this involves cleansing your life and your surroundings of all of what we just talked about, or whether it means that you step up and start taking care of your physical body, for it's probably going to be with some of you longer than you anticipated, or whether you make complete changes in your job, your relationships, where you live. That is up to each and every one of you, for you to look deep into yourself and know what is the right thing to do. For it is not the same with everyone. You are all at different levels in your development, in your spiritual unfolding, in your recognition of who and what you are. It is not the same for everyone. So to look to your neighbor or your friend and think and compare yourself to where they are and what their life is like is not a good thing to do. You need to look at yourself and your surroundings and your life to determine what, if any, changes need to be made to prepare yourself for this new world that we are on the brink of entering. What is this new world that you want to live in? Does it bear any resemblance to how you live today? If your thoughts and ideas and feelings of this new world do not mirror in some way, shape, or form the life you are living today, it is time to make changes. For it is through these thoughts, feelings, and words and deeds that we create our world. And it will never be created if you are not living those thoughts, words, and deeds and feelings, at least in some part. For this is how you are going to change your world. It is not through observing and watching other people. It is through each and every one of you, in your core, in your heart. And the outward manifestation of these feelings and these thoughts and these words and these deeds is how you are going to change your world, one by one. And when enough of you do it, it shall become a different world. It shall become the world you want to live in and you want your children to live in. But it must begin with each and every one of you, and it must begin today. For as I said earlier, this is not a spectator sport. This is a participation event. This is why you came here. This is the reason you all lined up to come to the earth plane at this time, for this event, for this series of events. You are in it, beloveds. You are in it. And it is up to each and every one of you to create the world you want to live in. So, we leave that with you and urge you to begin now making these changes within yourself so that they can manifest outward into the world. We thank you for your time and your listening. And with that we will leave you.